A small girl wandered across the streets. Her name is Violet, the main writer of the Their newspaper incorporation. Currently, she was called to the office for unknown reasons. Perhaps a raise or a bonus for being such a good writer, she wondered. This place is her second home, her workplace. When she arrived at the office, she reached for a doorknob, and suddenly the door slammed open. Let me introduce Joshua, her best friend and boss. Before she could react, Joshua dragged her inside in a rush. He handed her what seemed like a newspaper, though it was badly beaten up. "This isn't a bonus, Josh," Violet said. "Of course not. Did you really expect that?" He denied her claims. Joshua pointed at the newspaper and then at the news playing across the room. "You see the problem here?" Joshua exclaimed. "Our business is falling behind, and we're no longer the best of the best. So, I need your help." He pointed at Violet. "We need a brand new, original, shocking topic for a newspaper." Violet pulled out her small notebook ready for action. "Roger that, sir." Joshua smiled proudly as Violet began the dilemma of what to write. "So, no bonus?" This is her third cup of coffee. She slammed down the cup and sighed. What to write? What to write? She wondered in her mind. You may ask, why did Violet accept this job so blindly? Because of money, of course. "I'll pay you generously, I promise," Joshua cried out. "Really?" She doesn't believe him. "Yes, really." After all, he had always paid her in other currencies other than money. "Whatever, fine, since no one else is doing it," she sighed, hoping that she won't regret this later on. The girl wandered across the streets just like yesterday, walking endlessly without a goal in mind. Maybe biographies? No, they're boring and not appealing to the teenager's eyes. She started rambling to herself. Space directory? Her eyes lit up before lowering her expression back into a frown. Some people here don't even believe in space. Damn you, flat earthers! He sighed for the 5th time of the day. Maybe giving up. She spotted a vending machine. Huh? Who am I kidding? Inserting a coin into the machine, Violet picked a can of coffee, number 13. "I can't quit just yet." She waited for the coffee. She waited and waited, but it never came out. Violet looked at the machine with confusion. Did I just get scammed? She can't kick it or shake the machine violently as well. It'll cause too much traction, and she'll get in trouble. Instead, Violet ran off to the nearest park out of spite. Reaching her destination, she sat down on the nearest bench. Well, at least Josh is not hurrying me to do my work. She clicked her tongue at that thought. I have the rest of this afternoon to think about it. Violet began observing her surroundings, children running around and the lovers taking pictures. It seems like she's the only one who's troubled here. Many things went down this week, from that complicated job to being scammed by some metal scraps. Not to mention, number 13 being a sign of bad luck. It will get worse later on. Not to be the main protagonist of those cliché stories, she tried the opposite tactic, being negative so good things come instead of being positive. Well, it worked once. Though what was odd to her was a child sitting alone on the floor, crying her heart out. I wish I could do that. Violet paused before looking back at the child. Wait, She's crying, like crying. She stood up and walked to the sad kid. Where even are her parents? Hey kid, she spoke up. What are you doing here all alone? Violet asked without hesitation. Did you run away or something? Perhaps her voice was a little bit too loud as the kid started crying even louder. Whoa, hey, it's okay. What's your name? The kid replied with Lavender. Violet looked around for anyone that may be Lavender's parent, but she found not even a single clue. I'm lost. Violet flinched at the kid's sudden confession. Wiping the sweat off of her face, she replied, Don't worry, we'll get you back to your home soon. Oh, thank goodness you're okay, Lavender. Don't ever go running off like that ever again. The mother hugged her beloved daughter. They finally reunited after a few hours of being separated. Though what really happened earlier? If you thought that Violet took her to the nearest police station and waited for her parents, you are absolutely wrong. Due to her being an impatient person, she searched all over the neighborhood houses and at last found her house. Thank you so much. You are? Violet, the main writer of the Dern Newspaper Incorporation. She handed them her business card. It's nothing much. I'm just doing the bare minimum here. Violet shrugged it off. Though deep inside, she can't help but treasure those cries of thankfulness towards her. It inflated her ego, in fact. You're too kind, the mother cried out. Would you like to join us for dinner? She pointed at the dinner table. One was sitting waiting for Violet to decide. They all look so nice and warm. The weather is just right, and the sun is about to set, creating a beautiful view ahead. How fun! Violet started, though I must decline. I am quite a busy person. She shrugged. Ah, that's all right. You may visit whenever, though, the mother replied. Violet walked away with everyone waving goodbye. She can't help but sigh at the pitiful sight of this pitiful family. I want to be just like her. The sound of the useful lavender in the distance. Ahaha, of course, as the family cheered for her return. How pitiful. Once Violet reached her bed, she couldn't help but continue to sigh. A bad habit that she can't seem to break. The sight of that warm, hopeful family dinner. Oh, how it makes her feel so pitiful for them. Somehow, whenever she relieves the view of the sunset, a part of her feels isolated. It's quite dark. 8 p.m. the time where overthinking kicks in. She twisted and turned on the bed, not even bothering to at least take a bath. She was so tired from everything that she could barely move a limb. In her heart, that pitiful feeling whenever she remembers those earlier events. What if I'm the one who's pitiful? Violet thought out loud. Those smiles and cheers of joy, those warm fuzzy vibes radiating from not only the sun but from them. Heck, they are so cheerful they might as well be the second sun. Perhaps what she feels is jealousy, jealous of those relations she never got to experience. That pitiful feeling was none other than Violet pitying herself for not having experienced what is called family's love. Those people being all giggly and happy makes her jaw clench in envy. Wait, happy? Right! She suddenly jolted up, grabbed her notebook and started writing. This will be the next big hit for sure, she yelled across the room in victory. After all, someone somewhere out there must be facing the same problems as her, being unable to recognize feelings and emotions. Yet, It can also be related to science in the same way. A genius idea. She stood up from her bed. I shall call it, slapping the notebook on the desk, Our Theory of Happiness. Finally, she went to shower for the first time on that day.